Hey everybody, welcome again to, I was gonna say another edition of Rasheed Wyatt for Mayor. It's a trip, but we've changed the name of our broadcast to Wyatt's Watch. And so I'm glad that you're tuning into the first official edition of Wyatt's Watch, and we wanna welcome everybody who tune into this process as I run for mayor of the city of Buffalo. I have my right-hand man, Mr. Tony Campbell, who is our outreach director for the campaign. And Tony has been huge, let me tell you, huge in this campaign. Got a lot of signatures. Actually, Tony got the most signatures. And I appreciate him so much. And the other thing is, Tony, you see this guy, ain't nobody gonna mess with me when I'm with Tony. And the other thing, everybody knows Tony. And so, Tony, welcome to the show. You subbing in for our fearless leader today.
Yes.
But talk a little bit about, because you've been with us from day one, Tony. Talk about why you're with us and, just what you see and why we just got to get this done.
Well, Councilman, thank you for having me with the broadcast.
Yes.
Wyatt. It's just amazing how I look at you, crunch the numbers from the base to the top. You know where you want to be. You go in there, you see what's on the bottom. You figure out why it's at the bottom. You shuffle around you get the better understanding of the math in which you want, or why you see how we could move this budget along the way that you anticipated going. But you know what's so much more amazing to me? That all of the things that you created, started out 2-3 years ago, the other candidates is talking about everything that you started.
Right, already done.
And it amazes me, but the bottom line is they don't have the blueprint.
Yeah.
You hold the blueprint to everything that they're saying. They're spinning the wheel again, but they don't have the blueprint to.
Now, I'm gonna equate this to your thing, boxing.
Yes.
You were a very successful boxer.
Yes.
You can teach all the techniques you want, but at the end of the day, it really is about the talent.
Yes.
So you just got to have the talent,
Yes.
And you've had that talent for a long time. When we go, anywhere we go, people know you. And you are truly a blessing to this campaign, and I appreciate you so much. When I go out to churches, Tony's with me, and he's talking to people. And that's what I said. If you think here, I'm going to talk about my campaign, but it really is about leadership, and it's really about putting the right people around you, people who have the same mindset. And my mindset, as many of you know, is really at the heart of the people. And for, Tony, if you know him, you know that he is that type of dude. He's all about people, customer service, being kind, considerate, helping where we can. And that's what we have around us. And let me just say this. If you've been watching my social media, these brothers from Mindframe Media are the bomb, and you all know it. Because people have been telling me, who is doing your social media? It's these brothers, and they're so dedicated. And, they can't be duplicated. Let me just say it like that. They are getting it done for us. And at the end of the day, I want to send a message out to the city of Buffalo that this is a type of operation I'm going to run as mayor. It ain't going to be no shabby show. It ain't just going to be friends and family. It's going to be people who have the skill sets to deliver to the residents of the city of Buffalo a message that we care about you. I want to be transparent. I want to be honest. And I want to give you the factual information. Just a couple of days ago, we had our public hearing on the budget. And so many people came out. And again, I want to commend those people who came out and those who watched on Facebook, because everybody didn't have the ability to kind of change their schedule. But the people who came out were very articulate, and they were knowledgeable. Stop taking our people for granted like they don't know what's going on. They do. So these candidates who are running around acting like they're going to deliver for us and haven't, I'm just letting you know, our people are paying attention. They know what's going on. Like when someone tried to act as if Wyatt has been in with the budget. Well, listen, if you go to my social media, Wyatt for Buffalo Mayor, you gonna see I ain't go for the budget. Last year, I said it. The same thing we did last year is what we're doing this year. It ain't working. And so the person who has the most financial expertise, the person who has been on the forefront from the issues that we're talking about, they're kind of whitewashing me. And I mean that literally. You all see it. They ain't bringing me up. They ain't talking about me, but I create my own media. And so I'm so grateful for the brothers of Mindframe Media who are getting this information, sharing it with you so that you can hear from me directly. It'd be nice to have those other stations getting us, but we got to create our own, because at the end of the day, I want you to hear clearly from me with my own voice what's happening. I don't want somebody else to filter it. I don't want you to get it third hand. And I'm going to tell you, as this campaign gets further in, these folks are going to probably mudsling against me. And guess what? I'm going to come right to you and I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't got to lie to you. And I got the evidence. As I said, May 24th, 2024, I spoke up about a busted budget that was on sinking sand, that they had, these fictitious numbers, and they're doing it again.
Absolutely.
And so again, we're going to keep playing that game. And who does it hurt? It hurts you, the taxpayer. We keep making these mistakes. We keep playing these games, and they want to kick the can down the road. But guess who's going to end up getting the bill? You. And so I'm not trying to kick the can down the road. I'm saying let's fix it, because from a financial perspective, if you can't increase revenue, you got to cut expenses. And I know that, you want to keep all your friends and family, but some of those friends and family probably should find something else to do anyway. Because if you're not treating the taxpayers with respect and dignity and giving them the best customer service because they pay your check, you shouldn't be here. But I'm not saying, but there's a lot of city workers, and I'm not trying to diminish anyone. There's many city workers who have been with us a long time and they do a great job. So those who do that great job, I give you kudos. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that the dollars that we spend are dollars that spent wisely, that hence the end result, and that's you, the taxpayer. We want to make sure their quality of life continues, that we increase it. Some people at the public hearing didn't feel like, what they're getting their money's worth. They're not getting their money's worth. They feel like they're getting shabby services. So how do we improve that? Well, we improve it with transparency. We improve it with making sure there's measurable goals and objectives for every department. And let me tell y'all, these people are still biting off my ideas, Every time I talk about something, it seems like they bring it in their feed. They want to talk about it.
That's
But
right.
I'm not talking about no deficit bonds. I'm not talking about selling property, selling your ramps. I'm not talking about no 3% bed tax. I'm not talking about a significant tax increase. I'm saying let's decrease our expenses, and then the increase in taxes doesn't have to be as much. That's the easy fix. The fix that you've seen for the last several years has not worked. They're trying it again, and as I said, this acting mayor is Byron Brown 2.0. Yeah. I just can't say it no different. Right. And all the fuzzy math. The other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, I'm in the public, we're talking about the budget, and we're having our workshops, and you probably could see it on Facebook. And we're talking about the overtime with police and fire, which people during a public hearing talked about the overtime. And I brought it up again and said, please make it make sense. Tell me how we're paying all this overtime when violent crime is down, when fires are down. Make it make sense, people. I'm sorry. Tony, I can't make sense of it.
Well, Councilman, you were saying and showing me the other day, and it's so remarkable that you look at Scanlon wants to do 8%, and we was looking at just shuffling some things around, and you was just looking at 2.5% over the fact of 4 years.
Yeah.
They got bonds that they have that they can work with. Polling cars have $26 million in his budget, and his surplus. Surplus mean you didn't buy salt. Things that we should have had. We didn't
have the reserves. The county has a large reserve. The school board has a large reserve.
Yes.
The city of Buffalo, again, listen to me, folks. The second largest city in the state has zero.
Right.
Zero. How do you do that?
That's right.
When I did the calculation, and you're going to see more about the budget, because I have someone on our team who is doing the analysis on the overtime. And he's also doing analysis on the work product, meaning how much work you're doing in comparison with the salaries and the overtime. And when you see that, I'm telling you, this is the type of stuff as mayor I'm going to bring to the city. You will no longer see me just make a decision on something without bringing you the information and the data that speaks to why we're making that decision.
That's right.
It makes no sense that we continue to tell people what we're going to do, but we haven't showed them anything. I don't care how much you've written, because there are some people who are writing up all these different documents and stuff that you got to read. Listen, I've been here for almost 12 years, and I have not been complicit with the administration, past or present, with any of those ideas. I think I have the most knowledge. I care the most because I show it through my actions. And, you know, when you have the expertise that I have, you ain't got to grandstand. You ain't got to make it up. You ain't got to go talk to somebody. I do talk to people. I'm not saying I do, because there are people who are experts in this that have more knowledge than I have. I do talk to them. But at the end of the day, I got to be able to take that information and massage it and present it so that you understand it. And that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that when I'm giving you information, it's easily understandable, because not everybody has a financial background. Some people avoid hearing this stuff because they don't understand it. But if I can make it as simple as pie, if I can make it as simple as 1, 2, 3, then you will understand it and you will tune in, because people aren't going to come to something that you're talking over their head and they don't understand it. But they do understand that if we do an 8% increase, tax increase, it's going to affect not only seniors, it's going to affect those who are renting. And that's the problem. People who are already being charged this rent, this astronomical amount, and they're going to be charged another astronomical amount. And then we're talking about another increase next year. Absolutely. And that's also including water and probably user fee. And so I'm just being honest and transparent with you. We do have to increase taxes, but to the extent that it's 2%, 8%, 9%, 12%, well, those crazy numbers, no. If we just right-size government, make sure that we have the right people in place, we can trim the fat on that without a lot of negative impact. Again, I'm not going to tell you we don't have to increase taxes. We do. But I think we can do it in the right way, in the right fashion, that people have it accepted and digested. Because at the end of the day, you know, again, when I go back to the public hearing and people talked about this police facility that's being built. Now, yes, it's done with a bond. But I want to make it clear again, because I'm going to keep on saying it till the cows come home. That was not my idea. So for it to be in a local newspaper that I did that is not true. I was a chair of finance. It was attached to my name because it was initially a bond, and it was far less before. But again, it was because I was the chair of the finance committee, not because I supported it. And then if you go, and I can get you the tape where I said that the money could be used better elsewhere, because we have other needs. People are dealing with homelessness. We have people who are dealing with, they can't pay their rent, it's too much. Those are real things that we need to be looking at. How do we do it? But let me just say this again. If you go over the course of the 5 years and the $100 million we spent in overtime, that could take care of so many things. Right now, the enterprise fund, which is actually the user fee, is owed money from the city, because we've been taking it from our regular checking account and it's taking it from another account. So we're taking the money that should be the enterprise fund. The user fee is supposed to be self-sufficient, meaning if we are paying $100,000 for it, the recycling to happen, then we take $100,000 in, and that makes it where it's not a negative impact on our regular fund. But right now we have to take money from our regular checking account to fund it, because it's short, because we're not meeting it. So I believe right now we owe about $20-something million to the enterprise fund, because the $20 million we owe to our regular checking account, because we had to take it from because the enterprise fund didn't have enough money, meaning that we didn't charge enough from the user fee. So that's the clear story right now. $25 million that we owe right now to our regular checking account, our what they call our operating account. We owe that money because we haven't been charging enough, and those costs continue to escalate. But at the end of the day, when we talk about the overtime, and that's the biggest number on the page, and I tell you about 5 years, $100 million, what we could have did with that money. We had people talking about, how come we can't give more money to youth programs? How come we can't give money to more money to the arts? Why can't we give money to small businesses? Because we're using it in overtime. And again, when I keep beating this drum because that's the biggest number on the page. And if we cut down the overtime, there's things that we can do for our citizens, for our youth, for the arts community, for our infrastructures, our roads and sidewalks and those things. There will be money available. But we have to right size government. We have to be smart. We have to make good, sound decisions. And we just can't keep kicking the can down the road because I want to protect all my friends and family. You know, as a banker, there were times we had to have layoffs, and you didn't want your friend to get laid off. You know, we all have families, and I'm not being, I'm very compassionate about that. I'm not saying let's just get rid of people, but we have to be smart that we got to save the ship. If I let the ship sink, then what else we got? We ain't got nothing. And so we got to be smart about how we do it. If once I get in office, we got to look at how do we do those cuts that make sense. I'm not going in and saying, oh, we're going to have two, instead of having the regular collection for recycling, we're just going to have one every other week, because that goes against the whole principle of what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people in the habit of recycling to save that from going to the garbage dump, because that costs us more. And so when you say, I'm going to just do one other week in recycling, people are going to start saying, I'm just going to throw it in a regular tote because that's easier. I want to get rid of the garbage.
That's right.
And so again, folks, I'm going to keep bringing this information to you. I'm going to be talking straight. This is Wyatt Watch, and I want you to know clearly what my platform is. I don't want it to be filtered. I don't get the same type of cachet, even though I'm a sitting council member who probably is a little bit more popular than the other two candidates, but for whatever reason, which you all probably know,
That's right.
I don't get the same shine they get, because they're trying to change the game and have who they want in there. But at the end of the day, as Willie has said and Tony has said, we're going to take our campaign to the people. You all matter. You all matter the most. And so that's why I'm going to ask you too, when you go into my social media for Wyatt for Buffalo Mayor, if you can be so kind to make some donations to my campaign. I don't want to have to go to other people for donations and then I have to be beholden to them. I want to be only beholden to you, the taxpayer. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. You got to make this deal because one of my friends are going to get some money, because people are speculating right now. Who are those parking ramps going to go to?
Right.
What developer is going to get those parking ramps to make money off of you and me?
That's right.
You know, when we sell those parking ramps, guess what that does? That takes away the transparency of the people you elect to office to do business. Mm-hmm. So they do their own business, and we just got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Just like the Water Authority. The Water Authority right now, they make deals and they increase rates. Don't call me the council member, because I don't know what they do. That's under the administration of the mayor, and they do what they do, and they make their money off of us, and we just have to eat it. And that should not be the way it is. So that's why I don't agree with a parking authority, because that's not something that you all have voted for. You didn't say you wanted a parking authority. You said you wanted an elected official to stand up and speak for you. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And as mayor, I can do a better job at that in that seat, because I can't fix everything. You know, when people complain to me about certain things, I'm the council member. My primary responsibility is to make laws. Mm-hmm. It's not to make sure that the potholes are taken care of. That's the administration's role, not my role. So again, Tony, we out here hustling and doing what we need. We need volunteers, and so that's where you come in.
That's right.
People can come in, they can talk to you.
That's
Volunteers, right. You can come here, you know, right. From 3435 Bailey Avenue.
Absolutely.
Your times that you're going to be here?
From 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, from Monday to Saturday. We're not here on Sunday, but we're here every day for you. We'd like you to come in, do some volunteering, some phone banking, maybe put some signs out, phone banking.
Yeah, all that we can use. And again, this campaign is driven by the people. I don't have any any other intentions. You know, we're trying to build a street team. We want people who are dedicated, who are going to walk and talk to people. I'm going to be out there. Matter of fact, I got 3 pair of sneakers now because I got to get out there and start walking because I want to meet with the people. That's a passion of mine. I enjoy talking to people, even if you don't agree with me. I'm okay. As long as people are respectful, I'm good with it because this is America. So you ain't got to do what I tell you to do, but I hope I can explain to you this process. And so our street teams are so important. Please stop over to 3435 Bailey Avenue Monday through Saturday and meet with Tony, meet with my campaign manager, Willie Morris, and we're going to put you to work because we're trying to make this happen. We're not going to keep you here all day. If you only got a couple of hours, that's all we're going to accept is a couple of hours. You know, we ain't trying to kidnap anybody, but I really want your support. Mindframe Media came on. We had a conversation. And they believe in this candidacy. They believe in what we do. They believe in what I stand for. And that's what I want. I want people who believe in what I stand for. If you don't believe in what I stand for, I'm not mad at you. This is America. You make your own choice. But I hope that if you go to my social media, Wyatt for Mayor, you will see exactly what I'm about. You know, it's not rhetoric. It's not something I'm just telling you, giving you lip service. I have documented information, video from some of our council meetings and different meetings and conversations with people, where I've done and what I've done. I've been duly elected 3 times. Well, actually 4, but I've served 3 full terms. And I think I run my district pretty well. I think I have a really good relationship with my residents. And I can't say everybody loves me because don't everybody love anybody. That's just the truth. But go and do the research. Don't just listen to what someone says. Don't let them paint me with a broad brush. You know, he's mean. He doesn't do this. He doesn't shake my hand. Well, let me tell y'all something. Honestly, if y'all heard about what they did to me, that they had a press conference in my district without telling me, would you shake that person's hand? If someone came to your house and they just had dinner at your house and they ain't talked to you, would you shake their hand? They just come in there and have a dinner? Right. You know, come on, y'all. Come on. Some of this don't make sense, but guess what? I did shake their hand. So, so some of it is just kind of foolery because I want you to listen to my message. Don't listen to the other stuff. The message is Wyatt on the right path to resolving the fiscal issues of the city. Absolutely. I think I'm on the right course. Absolutely. Because if we keep doing what we've been doing, you're gonna get the same result. I said this last year. If you go to my social media, you will see the evidence of what I said last year about the budget, and we're doing the same thing again. I'm not making it up, folks. I'm telling you what I've been doing, and if you see the picture, I'm the only one saying something. And so again, I'm not the most pleasant person when it comes to people thinking our heads pop on and off, because mine doesn't. So you're not gonna come with me with that foolery. But I'm really about action. I'm really about transparency, and I'm really about you. And if you know me, you know I'm about the people. I am. I'm not just faking it. I didn't just come out and just say, okay, it's about me because I'm running for mayor. It was about you since I've been a council member, and now I'm running for mayor. It's still going to be about you. And so again, when people tell you what they're going to do, again, check the record. I've done it. I've engaged the community, and I continue to engage the community. So come and join us. See Tony, 3435 Bailey Avenue, Monday through Saturday, 1 to 7, and you can join our campaign. There's so much that you can do and that we need, because we want to do a thorough job of knowing what's going on. You know, we want to know what's going on in the North District. We want to know what's going on in Delaware. We want to know what's going on in the South. We want to know what's going on throughout the city, because I'm going to be the mayor for the entire city. So I'm not going to be shortchanging anybody, because I want to hear from you. And you can see how I run my district. I do that. I have so many meetings, it's not even funny. As a matter of fact, we have a meeting coming up on June 7th, which is going to be at Expressway Y, right on Eggert. And so that's what I do. I do it regularly because I want you to know what's going on in the district in which that you've elected me, because that's the important part of it, you know. And as mayor, I'm telling you, I'm going to change the game. I'm not going to be the mayor like these other folks. I'm going to be the mayor that's going to make sense to you and going to reach out to you, is going to touch to you, who's going to talk to you, who's going to listen to you. You're not going to have to come in and be winded down to come into the mayor's office. You're going to just come in and you're going to talk to me, and I'm going to talk to you. But the other thing is, I'm going to come out and talk to you. You're just not going to come to City Hall, because, you know, I think so many people are challenged by coming downtown. Even for some of our public hearings, people have asked that we move those meetings around. My dear friend who you're going to see, Tina Vick from Newport News, she's a councilwoman. She's been a councilwoman for 16 years. She's talked about how they've moved their meetings around and has been very receptive to the residents. And so I think we have to do things like that. We just can't keep doing the same old. But let me tell you, sometimes this is a strategy. This is not just what has to be. There's a strategy to this. They want to keep things the way they are, you know, and that's what it is, you know, unfortunately. But I'm about real change. I'm about making certain that what you tell me, I'm acting on, and I'm going to work closely with the Common Council because I know many of my colleagues are there in other camps right now, which it's politics. I can't say anything against it. Right. But I hope that those who have worked with me before will have a good understanding about I'm a good person. I know what I'm talking about, but now we have to make sure that we are meeting the needs of the people, and we can do that together. We have to meet the needs of the people. We just can't keep playing these games, kicking it can down the road, placing blame on who or that. And as you can see, I've not placed any blame, but I've given you facts.
That's right.
You know, the facts are, you know, we've not had any real change with the new acting mayor. And so when I get in there, believe me, you're going to see real change. And I'm not just saying it, it's going to happen because I have so many ideas in which will change how we deliver services to you. And that can't all be written down. Now, some people are writing down stuff. I'm good with it. I mean, you write some stuff, but I think that for me, the most effective way to communicate with you is not writing it down, it's coming here and explaining to you what I'm going to do. When I'm talking about transparency and accountability, you know, every department is going to have some goals and objectives that are going to be derived from you.
That's right.
Now, I told you some people are going to try to bite my stuff. So I'm letting you know. They're going to try to take my idea, but they can't execute it like me.
Always have.
This is what I've done. I've been a finance professional manager for 25 years. This is how I roll. This is not something foreign to me. I don't need to bring somebody in to execute my ideas.
That's right.
I will have to bring people in who are experts in managing it and doing and executing it, but I know how to do this. And so again, I encourage you to pay attention, tune into my social media, and I'm telling you, ain't seen nothing yet on my social media. When y'all see this stuff, y'all was like, well, what is Wyatt? That Mind Frame Media and my communications director, Sybil, they off the chain. And then I have another team who are working with me, and I just hate to say names because people might try to peel them off from me. But they're getting data. So again, like I said to you, you're gonna see information and you're gonna see something very soon regarding the data as it relates to the overtime. Because again, I don't wanna just bring you rhetoric. I don't wanna just keep telling you a story. I wanna show you the information and then you can make your own determination from that. But let me tell you, when you elect me as mayor, it ain't gonna be the same. Tony, it ain't gonna be the same.
Not gonna be the same.
It's gonna be real change.
Absolutely.
For real.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so I want to thank you guys again for tuning into Wyatt Watch. Please go to my social media, join us, volunteer for our street team because we really need people to be on the ground because we want to take this campaign to the people. No, I don't have the numbers that these other folks have, but guess what? They don't have the will that I have, and I've showed it to you. I've not just talked about it. You know, when I get out here and talk to my folks, I love it. I love the engagement. And I love that you all love me because there's so many people who have given me positive feedback. And I believe me, folks, it don't go to my head. I don't sit up here thinking, oh, I'm all that in a bag of tips. I appreciate what people have said as far as my work ethic and how I've worked with them and how I interact with the people. So we appreciate you. We appreciate this time. And again, my friends at Mind Frame Media, thank you so much. Tune into the next episode next week for Wyatt Watch. I want to thank my outreach manager, director, Tony Campbell, for being with us today. But Buffalo, real change is coming.
Yes.
Tune in to Wyatt Watch next week.